Hey guys, this is Locke. In this video, I'm going to talk about your endgame if you happen to have been extremely unlucky. What I mean by unlucky is if you don't have any like L pets, if you don't have any L plus units, if you're actually been really unlucky with even your L plus accessories, if you just haven't been able to get any to drop. So I'll show you the team that I'm using. These are my 4 units. Rachel. So this is the only L plus accessory that I'm using, and I'm hoping that everyone will actually have one L plus accessory. I think you should actually be getting a selector pretty soon. If Korea has been an indication, we should be getting one within the next like 2-3 weeks. I'm hoping, and it should be an L plus selector as well. So everybody should be able to get whatever they want. Most people, I'm assuming, are actually going to go for the either the Rage or Revive accessories. So everyone should at least have one. And the one that I've chosen to put is on Rachel. I put the Rage there. As you can see, the other 4 units, the other 3 units that I'm using don't have any L plus accessories. Even the equipment I'm using, I've tried to use the non-radiant version of weapons wherever I could. This is one that I'm using a radiant attack set because I don't actually have a non-radiant attack set to put on him. And for her, I'm using a radiant weapon again, but it's transcend 0. So like a radiant 5 normal weapon would actually do even more damage. And she's also using a defense set. You could probably get even more DPS out of using an attack set, but this is what I'm using. And even the actual accessories I'm using is all like mismatched and stuff that you don't really want. Like for example, you probably don't want to have a Variant ring. You probably want to have like attack accessories. I've used them to make some of these, and so I don't actually have like matching accessories. I think like this is one I have, and she has a 2 set. But yeah, like it's all over the place. But if I can still do it with this, and if I can do it, when you are in endgame, you can also do it. So what am I talking about? Like, why am I talking about this raid, and why am I, talking about these units and so on and so on? So my point is, if you're able to get to the end game, right, and you have like a pretty built-out codex, if you have Transcend 5 legendary gear, you can do this. You can do this raid, and you can actually farm it quite easily. Like within like say 2 minutes, you can do a run, which is pretty fast, right? And if you're able to do that, you can actually farm these moonstones pretty easily. You can also farm. You can start farming some of these radiant gears. And if you're at this stage, right, you are probably already invested in PvE gear. Like you have your crit sets, you have your mercenary commander sets, like the skill up sets. You have your defensive gear and your cooldown sets. So maybe at this point you can start to look at something like PvP. Maybe you want to go up a tier, like maybe you are at like say 5,000 and you're thinking of going to like 5,200 or something in arena ranking, and you actually want to start investing in PvP gear. So this is actually the place for it, right? You get attack speed set, which is good for PvP. And again, for me, the biggest loot here is actually the moonstones. I will show you how much moonstones I have. If you've been paying attention to some of my previous videos, you will have noticed that I had something like 170 something 4-player tickets, and I had even more of the multiplayer tickets. I had something like 230. So I had about 400 of these tickets, and I've used a lot of them. And as you can see, I have like 3,500 moonstones just from using those tickets. So when you are at endgame, you're also able to do that too, and you don't actually need to have be lucky to do it. Like you can do it with this team that I'm using right here. You don't need to have Cosette. You can use it. You can use Dellins and Miss Velvet to use. And if you take a look at like the potentials that they have, they're not even maxed out. So you can actually even do this even better than I can, that I'm showing you. So this is her potential. She's probably the most maxed out of all of them. Rachel Dellins is at 13 attack. Miss Velvet is at 12, and she is at 0. Because I just haven't invested. So you don't even need to use Len. You can actually use like Vendingo with like some potentials, and he'll probably do similar damage to Len. You can also put like an attack set on him. I'm using a defense set, and again, like that'll probably do maybe the same amount of damage that my Len is doing, because she's really just there to suppress. I don't actually need her damage for this. I can pretty easily clear this again with this team. And if you have any one thing that I'm not using. Like if you have a legendary pet, you're obviously going to do this even easier. If you have like two or three rage accessories or revive accessories, again, it's going to be so much easier for you to do this. Um, if you have like a couple of these +5 radiant weapons, sorry, transcend 5 radiant weapons, again, it's going to be even easier to do. So my point here is that even if you have been really unlucky with your heroes, you haven't got any L plus heroes, you have been very unlucky with your L plus accessories, and you have been unlucky with like your pets, you can still do this with, again, the Ming pet, the blue pet, these legendary heroes. Of it, one of them is free, like Rachel has been free, and hopefully you have Delans and Miss Velvet, and if you don't, hopefully you have somebody better, or you have somebody else that you can use as single target DPS. Um, like even Chris might work. You might even be able to use Chris here with like max out potentials or something like that. Or basically you just need two single target DPS heroes, and Rachel, who's been given for free, and the suppressor. I'm using Len. You can also use Wendigo for it as well. And with that, you can actually clear this pretty easily. I feel like if you don't have a legendary pet, Ming is probably the best one to use. There is also the Shay pet you can use as well, but I like Ming because she clears the debuffs, and one clear of the debuff is actually really useful in this stage. So that's why I'm using Ming. And just look at how this run goes and see how easy it is for me to do. So I will give some commentary on this battle as well, just in case you want to kind of follow along. Basically, you have to keep an eye on if your units get debuffed so that you can remove the debuff with Ming. And you have to make sure you avoid one or two AoEs that she will cast at the very beginning. And then soon after, she will ult. And once you've suppressed the ult, the boss should be at like less than half HP, maybe like 50% or something. As you can see, she's at 40% when she finished her ult. And you also have to make sure that you do select the, to target the boss and not the minions, otherwise you're losing a lot of DPS that way as well. And it's possible that a couple of units might die, but you still should be able to pretty easily defeat the boss. So there you go, she's at 8%, and she's dead. See, that was really easy, and that was like less than a minute the fight lasted. So you can pretty easily farm this without needing to have any like legendary plus heroes or legendary pets. All of those actually become a luxury at this point, right? So I'm hoping by showing you this video, you can see that even if you've been unlucky with some particular thing that you wanted, you still have a pretty decent chance of doing your end game. Like, maybe you've been struggling lately with not getting the accessories that you want, especially the Revive or Rage accessories, like you've seen a lot of people with multiples of them. And you've just been really unlucky and you feel like it's hindering your progress. I mean, it is. It definitely would help you to get there faster. But even, once you're able to reach an end game, and what I've used, for these heroes, you can actually reach without needing these L plus accessories. Like, you can definitely work on your codex buffs without them. Sure, you might not have like 1700 attack on your codex if you don't have any L plus heroes, but you might have like 1400. And I did leave some of the room, like I'm not using maxed out potentials, so you can use potentials to somehow make up the difference for some of these heroes. And codex and potentials and things like that, those all you can farm without needing L plus accessories, right? Or L plus heroes either. So I'm hoping that, hopefully from this video you can see that you can still approach and comfortably farm end game, even if you don't have the, whatever you're missing, even if you don't have the L plus heroes that you want, like you really want to get a Cosette and you haven't got her and you feel discouraged. I mean, you can still do it without her, right? I've just showed you. You can do it without her. You can do it without L plus accessories. You can do it without even like a legendary pet. If you've been really unlucky and you haven't gotten a legendary pet, you can still do it. Hopefully you at least have Ming though, because you really do want that remove debuff. And even if you don't, like even if you have like say the pet from where is it now? This pet, the free pet that's given out right now from the New Year's, she is actually even better because she actually does have the remove debuff as well, and she gives you a really big heal and decreases all ally skill cooldown. So if you invested in this, you actually don't even need Ming, and you will have an even easier time because you can use this there as well. Sure, you might not benefit from the 11% attack and move speed because that's only in field exploration, but you will actually benefit from this skill. And I've talked about this when I'm talking about the video for the pet. I've talked about it. I'm like, you can actually use this in other places. You can use this in PvP. You can use this in raids. It's not only a exploration pet. You can use it other places as well. But even if you don't have that, you can still use Ming, as I've just used Ming and showed you. You can still use Ming and still be able to complete this. So anyway, that's it for now. That's it for this video. I think I've shown all the information that people usually ask. I've shown the equipment sets. I've showed the potentials. I've showed the codex. So yeah, if there's something I missed and there's something else you want to know, please leave me a message, and I will do my best to get back to you. Anyway, that's it for now. I hope to see you guys next time. Take care now.